So this is 1 month later. I'd have to edit this in, but in this section, this was radishes and turnips. The beets are still maturing. We ate the radishes, so I replaced them with these eggplants. So that's what they are right there, these 4 eggplants. I added some flowers. This beet's still going. That's a pepper plant and a tomato plant that is a volunteer. This is that other volunteer tomato that I got. It's doing quite well. That's the last of the arugula in this bed. This is the Swiss chard. It wasn't doing so well when I showed it last time. It's doing very well now. Over here, we have the kale plant, but then we have the very, very last of this bed's lettuce. You can see that it's pretty much getting to the end. It's bolting. More kale, still doing well, and then ending with more eggplants. This is my okra. It was very tiny when we started. I'm gonna go this way. Okay, this is my mint. I pulled that out of the woods. It was great. This was full of radishes and arugula, and this right here is arugula that I'm letting go to seed, and I'm gonna harvest the seeds for next year because I spent too much money on seeds. Over here, we're starting to get little buds. These 3 containers here are all going to be zinnias of all different sizes. Over here we have a lemongrass. Back here we have more mint and flowers. Chamomile, not doing as well as I would have liked. More zinnias. Over here we have something new. This is pink celery. Pretty excited about that. All right, continuing on. Back here. Now this bed was really, really tiny when it started, and we're almost done harvesting it. This is all of the Paris Cause lettuce. The dill is going well in the back now. It's starting to flower. And then we have some loose leaf in the front. And then we've got, the last of our friends, the radishes down here. There's a few left, you can see. But they're just about done. I might plant more. I'm not sure. They're probably going to bolt. Well, last we spoke, this is all basil. It was literally like an inch high. And this is what happened in 4 weeks. This is arugula. Again, I'm letting it bolt, and I'm just picking off the wild stuff. It's really peppery, so it's still good. Okay, over here. Back there is more zinnias. Over here we have my potatoes. They actually were doing really well. This one is particularly doing well, but then you get towards the center, and we have a little bit of something called blight, which is a bit of a drag. So I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to just have to wait and see. But it's starting to flower, which is nice. That's a good sign. So after it flowers, what will happen is the plant will start to die. And then it's really putting its energy into making potatoes. So that's going to be cool. Here's my pig. And pig has flowers coming out. And we're looking forward to that. Up here, again, more flowers getting ready to go. This here is a series of petunias that these all came back from last year. They're just seeds that just scattered. Come on, look. Come on. These are some zinnias that are just seeding up. And again, they're just coming up on the bottom too. Volunteers. All right. Now, all the way around, zinnias. Hanging baskets. And then we have the lavender, which is incredible. Next to the yellow cactus, which is really nice. The bees absolutely love the lavender. And this here was my afro thyme. And now it's got a white afro, which is cool. My tomato plants, they were much smaller. And now we have whole bunches of tomatoes. Lots and lots of tomatoes already. And again, it's June 30th, so I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it's been a weird kind of season, actually. All right, here, this was spinach. And that's what all of this is here. This is all spinach that's bolting. So I'm debating on whether or not to let it go to seed, because in between I planted these giant squash, and they're called patty pan squash. So I'm really kind of into them. But this bed I have completely overplanted, I know that. So here I have my pepper plant here, and then another one here, and then down here is my strawberry, where we got one lonely strawberry out of it. Another pepper, and then right here, that little guy is a watermelon. So watermelon's going to come up. These are sunflowers, more zinnias, watermelons, rosemary. This is all zinnias along here I planted. And then along the edge, I planted some little watermelon seeds, and we're going to see if we can get some. So these little sunflowers are no longer little. You can see all the way down how big they've gotten. Try and back up a little bit so you can see. They're as tall as I am, and I'm 5'7", so there you have it. Down here, this is the dinosaur kale. Looking good. I was worried about it. Didn't think I was going to make it. Swiss chard, again, doing quite well here. Little pepper plant that I'm trying to save. And then some red scarlet kale there. This is really, you see a little bit more bolting of the arugula, but down here is all my lettuce. This is the last of it, so I'm pretty excited about that. And this guy, he tried to run away, didn't work. More celery, and then I just planted another sunflower. All right, now this is my cabbage bed, and I was really excited about it, and I still am. But you see, it's got this brown cracking here, and I sprayed it with neem oil because something was eating it. And there were these little yellow, green worms on it, cabbage worms. Got them off, all looking good. Then came the white cabbage moths, and they absolutely loved it. So what I had to do was I sprayed it again, and it burnt. It just got too hot. So I covered it up with some cloth. I don't know what's going to happen. I do have some nice cabbage heads coming in, which I'm pretty excited about, but I mean, I don't know if they're going to be any good or not. I'm just going to try it. The lettuce that was hidden is starting to peek out. Peppers, more sunflowers. These are the Sulongs, and they are really, really growing very, very slowly, along with this bok choy that's growing slowly. So I side dressed it with some worms castings, whatever, and some bok choy that's left over. All right, these are my arches that I built. They turned out okay, and that's the echinacea that's just getting fired up. That's ready to go. I think that's going to happen this weekend. I'm pretty excited about it. Look at all those buds. Alrighty, down here, this is more cucumbers. These are the white dragon eggs that I was telling you guys about, and they're doing quite well. And then these are the tomatoes I planted, and the leaves were growing. They're growing down in this weird way. But these stalks are so hardy. And what I found was these are actually, I believe, Amish paste tomatoes. So pretty excited. We're going to have tomatoes for paste and stuff like that. The irrigation system's all working nicely too. These little plants back here are actually called cream and butter or something like that. My neighbor looked it up for me. All right, over here we have more cucumbers. These are the pickling cucumbers, and a little bit more of the pink celery, and my lima bean plant. Carrots, big improvement, right? Okay. And then more tomatoes. Again, lots of flowers on the tomatoes. I'm pretty excited about that. And then, wow. Look at that. Those are some nice looking flowers. The zinnias are just starting to bloom. I'll take you over there. You can see that we have this one guy here and one over here. So I'm thinking probably another week. Okay. I am going to pause this and move to the backyard. Okay, backyard. Now, completely overgrown, I know. We harvested our first zucchini. They're doing great. Again, I built my little trellis, and now the beans are starting to come in. And you can see they're starting to crawl up, which is pretty exciting. These are the melons. They're doing quite well. No fruit yet. It's a little too young, but still looking good. Lots and lots of flowers on the zucchini plant. So I'm pretty excited about that. Over here we have more tomatoes, more flowers, and some zinnias in the front that had their heads taken off. All right, over here, here's a better look at the pink celery, right? Looks cool. And then this is the butternut squash. I have to figure out how to get that to trellis. All right, back here in the woods, believe it or not, these are doing great. These are pepper plants. Those are King of the North. They're going to be nice big green peppers. And hot peppers. I just call them little round because I saved the seeds. And then some tomato plants that are just flowering now. So I don't know what they're going to be, but we're going to find out. Okay. That's where we're at 30 days later. Next update is July 30th.